Did you know that your brain has its own detox system? Yeah, that's right. All that junk that accumulates in your brain from functioning, cognitively, even environmental toxins, exposures, radiation, all the stuff that your body and brain particularly have to deal with is eliminated through something called the glymphatic system. This is a recent article on Medscape that details the effects of the glymphatic system. And believe it or not, this was discovered in 2012. So this is really, really recent. When I was in medical school, learning about physiology, we didn't really understand or didn't know about this unique system. But in 2012, it was discovered that there's this elimination system in the brain that is unique, that allows the junk that accumulates in the brain. Now, why is this relevant? Because all the things that accumulate in the brain, tangled proteins, wastes, toxins, it needs to be eliminated. Otherwise, it's going to start causing dysfunction. And there's some evidence showing that the accumulation of this waste can lead to things like neurofibrillary tangles, those tau tangles that we hear about in neurodegeneration and dementia. This may have a role. Now, there's more research that has to be done on that. But definitely, in my world, in chronic pain and in concussion care, we deal a lot with trying to help relieve inflammation, remove swelling, and the lymphatic system is a really key highway to do that. White blood cells and inflammation cells travel out throughout the body through the lymphatic system, and in the brain, which we know that there's neuroinflammation after a concussion, it can get congested, and anything we can do to help support removing that is going to be so helpful. So what can we do to help support the brain's elimination system? Well, first of all, as the title says, when you're sleeping, most of it is active. This is really, really unique, and it's important to understand. So let's take a look here. So here is the brain's detox system. As I've just shown you in the article, it's really important because it gives us a tap to open to eliminate the wastes, because the brain really likes to keep things separate from the body. This is a way of protecting itself. And there's a lot of different things that are helpful to do this. Think about this. Your lymphatic system is the delivery system for fats throughout the body. So it brings in fats, proteins, nutrients into the brain, like omega-3s, for example. And then it also is important for the elimination of inflammatory molecules. So there's this constant flow you can see from the arteries through the nerves, through the neurons to the vein. And so there's constant elimination and reintroduction of good things. This diagram right here, I think, does the best job of summarizing it. So the little green guys here are the lymphatic cells. Here's our skull. Here is the space between the skull and meninges and actually your brain matter. And then there's these blood vessels that go through and deliver all the important nutrients. And those nutrients, through this big teal arrow, get dispersed and pushed through the interstitial space. And there are certain pores that help us do that. Now those pores, the AQP4 pore, for example, it can just get dysfunctional after a concussion. And so you're not going to have the delivery, as you can see here in the right diagram, because now all those cells are swollen, they're inflamed. You're not going to get the delivery of nutrients. And more importantly, you're also not going to get the elimination of waste. And that's where the glymphatic system is just so important. So what can we do about it? I think that's probably the most important thing that you're thinking about at this point. So I think the best way to think about this is that sleep is by far the most important thing to help move the glymphatic system. During the day, most detox pathways in the brain are just not working, and they're turned off by your stress hormone, your active awake hormone, that's your adrenaline and noradrenaline. So it's really active during the night. The positioning of your body makes a huge difference because the glymphatic system drains into your lymphatic system in your neck. And so sleeping on your tummy, there's research showing that having your neck to the side is going to disrupt the glymphatic flow. Sleeping on your side with your neck aligned is going to be the optimal way. And then secondly, sleeping on your back is also fairly good. So sleep position makes a huge difference. Other ways that we can help move our glymphatic system is through breathing. So that slow, deep diaphragmatic breathing helps move the cerebrospinal fluid, and that's what CSF stands for. And that in turn is going to help move the glymphatic system. So when you're sleeping at night, also makes a big difference if you're breathing properly. Can you think of a condition where you don't breathe properly at night? Yeah, you guessed it, sleep apnea. So sleep apnea is a really, really important thing. If you're waking up tired and you're constantly snoring, people that are around you when you sleep say that you might stop breathing or you snore all the time. Really, you need to be assessed for sleep apnea because that can also disrupt your sleep. Patients tell me over and over again when they start using a device or a machine to correct sleep apnea, it's a game changer. Their energy is like 1,000% better. So deep breathing makes a big difference. Other factors is if you are drinking excessively, your glymphatic systems are impaired. Exercise seems to have a positive impact. Again, moving blood flow is also going to help have a beneficial effect on lymph. And then as you get older, your lymphatic system is going to have decreased function. Also, you sleep less. And so this might be one of the theories of why there's more waste accumulation in the brain as you get older. But right now, if you're listening to this, the takeaway point is that to move your brain detox system, focus on getting a good, deep, restful sleep, which I think everyone understands is really important. And then think about sleep positioning and think about deep breathing as other ways of moving your glymphatic system.